Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, last night was a rough reading. There was a lot of information that came through that very difficult for most of our community to hear. This type of information, this type of circumstance, it's something that is very stressful, very fear-inducing, and we just kind of have to do our best, the best we possibly can, to get through this circumstance that we're finding ourselves in. Okay, so my heart goes out to everyone in Florida, and I hope that the worst of the worst is completely done, and that whatever the worst of the worst is, it's much less than what was expected, and everyone's families are safe. Just so much that we are going through as people, as individuals, as a community, really. So for whatever reason, the comments are not loading on my side. Let me see what I can do. Okay, I see you guys are all commenting. So, give me 1 second. All right, hopefully it will now load. Okay. Hoping. hoping. Anyways, I don't know if it's going to load. All right. So, getting some cards from that. And then here. So when I asked what this conversation was going to be about, what I heard is the guardians of old. Ooh. Cards just fell out of the deck. I'm going to read those first and foremost. Ooh, more cards fell. Okay. We're going to try and make this as efficient as possible. So, primary message, bulk of the message, and additional clarifiers. So today is a 10-10 portal, and I don't think any of this is a coincidence. I just don't. I don't think anything of what's happened is a coincidence, and the timing of everything, I believe, is very intentional. I'm going to be going live later today to do the 10-10 portal fire ceremony. I know some of you have already taken a look at what's available. While I was at the gym, I really couldn't focus on the workout. Everything feels so off. Everything feels so off. And so while I was there, I was given instruction for, I believe, like 4 or 5 different activations that I needed to make available. These are very specific activations, and I just want to help in whatever way my soul allows me to help. If you are someone who is here in the capacity of an elevated energy, an elevated purpose, you need to be very careful in regards to how you approach this desire to help others. You just have to be very careful. Okay. So, yep. I just looked at the cards that had fallen. There's 3 of them. It's in reverse. So let me set it up right. Card number 93, assistance without interference, future. So in the near future, meaning maybe even just later today, um, there's going to be a lot of repercussion for those who choose to assist. Now, I'm not saying don't help. I'm saying understand the parameters with which your soul has set for you to help without being negatively impacted. Okay. So I am aware, and this is part of the reason why my own higher self has instructed me to stand down. I am absolutely aware that there are those who are loyal to Baal. Baal is a major issue right now. Okay. There are those who are loyal to him. Seeker hunter minions, seeker hunter legions. And what these things are doing, and I know this is going to sound like I'm trying to induce fear, I am simply trying to give you the information you need so you can make decisions for yourself. It would be absolutely asinine to sit here and try and pretend like everything is okay. That is fucking stupid. It just is. Let's be real. There are those who are being tasked to hunt and seek those who will serve as a light in the darkness. The more you involve yourself in this circumstance, and I'm not saying don't be involved, I don't want that to be confused. The more you involve yourself and your energy in this process, the more these hunter seekers will have to be able to track you down. You have to do this smart. You have to be very tactical in the way you approach your desire to help. You just have to. Okay? So, I'm receiving even more information. Spiritual sovereignty, it's in reverse. 103, spiritual sovereignty, Asasani, and parallel. What's happening right now is a complete violation of your spiritual sovereignty. Right now, if you are to look at what's happening, you have to approach it again in a very tactical manner. What is happening? A violation of our spiritual sovereignty, an intrusion into our third dimensional space of existence. If you are to rush forward, thinking that, this is your valiant effort to be the hero, you will probably be one of the first to be cut down. I'm not saying don't help. That has to continue to be reiterated. I'm saying be very aware of what you are entering into. Oh, fudge. Fudgesicles. Okay. We're not doing no anxiety today. We're not. Okay? We're not, girlfriend. We just not. There is something that I was supposed to share last night, but there was just so much information that I literally just ended up like, no, I'm good. I'm not sharing anymore. I'm good. I'm done. Let me get this up. It's a video, and I'm only going to play a portion of the video because you guys need to understand the degree of infiltration in these spiritual communities. There is such a degree of parasitic infiltration in these spiritual communities that has largely been ignored and not spoken about. Now, I've held my mouth shut for far too fucking long. I just have. I've tiptoed around the subject matter. I won't do it anymore. I refuse. And luckily, soul is like, speak on it. Speak on it. I got a mouth like a megaphone. Let me actually break shit down for you guys. Let me prime this video to where it needs to be. Okay. Last night, I spoke about this. I spoke about this, okay? So hold on one second.
And names himself the king. In fact, he considers himself so important, he has labeled himself the chosen one. Justin Bieber got this crown in 2012. He was just 18 years old.
So, what I spoke about last night was how there are those who are knowingly or unknowingly identifying themselves as numbered among the legion of Baal. You saw that, right? Chosen one. You've heard people talking about this on social media. They are part of the chosen. I am a chosen. That means you identify as a minion of a demonic king who is here to forcefully attempt to establish a kingdom in physical form. Those people, they either knowingly or unknowingly are identifying themselves as the chosen, right? You notice how agitated I was. If you saw the video of me speaking about those who say the chosen, I was so fucking agitated. When am I ever agitated on live streams? Only when I address the truly demonic. That's the only time. You see me get reactive to someone instantly, they are being used as a vessel for something demonic, and I am aware. I am so fucking aware. You need to know what you are numbering yourself among. What are you identifying as? The audacity of these motherfuckers to accuse me of doing the very things that they are doing. And I've kept silent. No more. No more. You have to be aware of exactly what it is you are identifying yourself as. These things, they sneak their way into your life. They present the information to make you feel all lovely, all special and elite. You notice everything I talk about is how we are equals, that you should not be afraid, that you are simply in a process. You also notice the accusations lobbed at me are the very things those people are doing. You need to get centered within yourself. Fuck what everyone else is doing. Focus on what you need to do during this period. There are things that need to be done by you and you alone. Most of these things involve you working on yourself and how you see yourself. The guardians of old have already been awoken. What does that mean? I will not say. Why? Because I won't give them an opportunity to know in advance the fucking hailstorm coming their way. I will not give them advance knowledge. May they receive everything that's been allotted to them. I will not say where it comes from. They'll know when they see it. They will know when it comes knocking at their door. I'm not talking about humans. Everything that's happening right now, is trying to get all of us in a space where we are trying to identify as each other, not knowing what that identification means. Look at this, card number 35, past, deep polarity. This is not just happening in the past. This deep polarity in reverse is indicative of how they want all of us so afraid that we're willing to allow dark shit, malicious, malignant shit into our lives. It's time for you to take a stand for something. If you don't want to, I completely respect that. But no, you're going to be one of the ones who will be acquired. Oh, I said the word acquired for a reason. I mean, what should we stand for? Something that you choose. I will not tell you what to stand for. I will not tell you what to stand for. I will not tell you who to stay away from. I will simply identify and state spiritual fact and leave you to decide what it is you want to decide. And that is how you honor sovereignty. Do not decide things out of fear. Decide things out of conscious awareness of what you are choosing. And if you don't know what you are choosing, why are you choosing it? Why? Why are you choosing it? Fuck yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. These two cards fell out as well. Stability and cleansing. There is a stability that's being allowed to re-enter into the human awareness. That stability will help you to cleanse yourself of the fear that has been programmed into you. This fear, this desire to be even more deeply polarized within yourself, this desire to only be of love and light. You know, there's demons that are made of light, right? There are demonic things that are made purely of light. You know, there's parasitic things that eat light. So when you shine your light, unknowingly, you are broadcasting, I am here to be consumed. I am here to be acquired. Does that mean you hide? No. No. I've been hidden in plain sight my entire life. I will not fucking hide. Are you kidding me? If it is not time for me to be seen, then may I be cloaked to the degree that is necessary. But I will not hide. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now's the time for you to make some declarations about yourself and your life. Ooh, the power of this. The power of this. They're trying so hard, but guess what? You know what we're being afforded right now? You know what we are being gifted by creation itself? Security, healing. I accept, I receive. I claim that. I claim that gift. I claim that message. Yes. Please provide me everything that it is I need in this moment, through this period, through this process. Yes, please. I'm willing to receive it. And by me saying that, that means I'm willing to receive it, even if it is me that has to create that. Because sometimes we expect something to be handed to us, but what's being handed to us is the opportunity to create the very thing we want and need. Right? You're still in control. You're still in control when it comes to what you are experiencing. There are certain things, certain events that must be experienced and must be witnessed in order to create the types of changes that are necessary. I don't like them. I don't like these events. I don't like these events. For those who don't know, because I haven't said it, give me 1 second. I included 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different activations that are specifically in response to all of the information that's been coming through. So the first is the Baal shield and cloak. That's really good for just individuals. You know, you feel like part of your purpose is elevated in this life, and that you've been feeling there are things watching and trying to access, and that would be perfect for you. Next is a crone. The crone droid activation. Do you know what a crone is? A crone is an elder matriarchal force. There will be a droid created for you specifically as your own personal guardian, made of crone matriarchal energy. I've never offered any of these activations publicly before. Then there's the family group crone droid activation. It does not matter how many people are part of this family group. There's no number. All that's required is you have a genuine and deeply held connection with the people who you want to be included in this family group. It is a family group crone droid activation. Michael says it's important to clarify. These are not tears of sadness or fear. They are tears of utter rage. The next activation is the children of the Emerald Sun. I will be temporarily fully activating the work codes of those who receive this. It is intended for the new children. They have not yet reached a level of development to be able to access those codes, but I will temporarily activate them and hold them open if they are accessed. It does not matter how many children are in the household. Every child within that household will receive that. Next is the children of the Emerald Sun Auraf activation. You would need a crystal or a piece of jewelry that you wear regularly. I don't have time to make this stuff today, so whatever you have already, it will be programmed by me. As long as you wear it, as long as you have it with you, that item will be programmed and sealed to carry the codes used by the Oraphim to protect the children of their family line. The children they're looking for come from my family line. I will not leave them unprotected. So these are layers and levels of protection. Layers and levels to make it even harder to access and find. For tonight's fire ceremony, it's going to start around 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be doing another layer, another level of protection for all of the children, and that is completely for free. That is completely for free. Michael says to repeat again. That these are not tears of fear or sadness. These are tears of utter rage. Just utter rage. They are attempting to access and defile the children of my line. And although my options are limited and my participation is greatly reduced, I will not leave the children unattended. They are the very reason I was born in advance of them. They are the only reason I agreed. I've told you guys before, I am not in this life in a savior capacity in any way, shape, or form. I am only here as a crone reaching her true power, as a first line of defense for the children who come after me. I am here to defend my family line and whatever else my heart moves me to do while I'm around. We have to remember everything that we've been through, the ways in which we are perfectly calibrated to go through this process and come out the other side. Michael says to clarify again, it is not that I don't care about those who do not come from my family line. It is that I will not interfere unless I am told by Creator itself that I am allowed to. There are rules I abide by always through every life. The first rule is to never do what creation does not first tell me I am allowed to do. So there will be some who I will be allowed to assist and interfere in the process. And when I am, I always do. This process is about all of us finding the truth of how powerful we are. And if we are going to unify, it needs to be a conscious, powerful decision to do so, not one done out of fear because safety in numbers. You are powerful in your own right. You are powerful in your own right. You are powerful in your own right. We are now being positioned to turn this autumn period right side up. There have been messages of attempts to turn it upside down. They can try and want whatever they want, but without our complete submission to the will of their domination, they can't make that happen. They just can't. The only reason these things have been being able to continue to happen is because we don't quite understand how that portion of our existence works. It's time for us to gain an understanding. It's time for us to begin respecting the way we function, the way we are provided for. All your needs are provided for. That does not make for an easy life. It does not make for a peaceful life. It does not make for a glamorous life or a perfect life or any of those things. It makes for a life that gives you the opportunity at the highest degree of potentiality. And that is one of the greatest, most generous gifts you can be given. Common ground in reverse. We have no common ground with these demonics. They want dominion. There is no common ground that you can get with them. It's like dealing with a narcissist. You can try and understand them all you want, but they will never try and understand you unless their understanding of you will further their mission objective, will further their domination and control over you. The guardians of old have already awoken. The heavy-handed work, the heavy-duty work, the heavy lifting work will be done by them, and we will not say exactly what that is. I promise you, none of you have been forsaken. I promise you. I never say I promise if it is not something that can be kept. I promise you. None of you have been forsaken. Long-term goals, it's in reverse. This is a short-term campaign being waged using technologies, using etheric channels, using all sorts of different layers and levels of existence. Okay. There are 6 that report. Give me 1 second. Yep. Let me airdrop this. If you guys were able to watch last night's live stream, there was a lot of talk about how the region of the storm, details of the storm, all of these different things, they are making clear and continuing to reiterate over and over and over the information that we need to be aware of. Let me see if I can find. Oh, wait. Is it this? Yep, it's this. Let me see if I have this on here already. And it will begin making sense, okay? For those who were live with me on TikTok the other day when we first began working on this storm. Okay, it's not there. At one point, you could hear me counting over and over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I kept checking I kept checking the details of the storm. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I did not know why I kept checking the details of the storm. I'm going to show you exactly why and the significance of it. Again, this is a push for control. This is a push for power. This is a full-blown coup d'etat. So this was the imagery. This is a screenshot from what I kept keeping tabs on while I was live on TikTok. All right. This is where they brought Baal in. This is the Gulf. This is the Panhandle. This is the region. And they were swirling the clouds to keep him hidden. What was I counting? Below him, in submission to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is that something that kept sticking out? And I asked, so I was told. Ruling this part right here. Hold on. Ruling over only 6 legions of demons. Baal has the power to garner the favor of others, to involve others, but he rules only over 6 legions of demons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys think that in the music industry, this means the 666. No, it does not. This means you are numbering yourself among the 6 legions controlled by Baal. See, they give you the truth, but not fully. They manipulate it so that you don't know the true identity, the true plan for what it is they want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Baal answers to a cardinal. Orion's oversees the cardinal direction of the east. All of this was pre-planned. Where did they say Covidia came from? Okay. It came from the Far East. This is the second phase of a 3-pronged plan. Is it making sense now? Now do you understand why I keep most of the things to myself? The type of fear that the information I'm regularly given would induce in most people. Do you see now the way my brain can connect the dots that you don't even know exist? Everything has always been interconnected. These people, they follow dots. They look for the dots to try and connect them. All you have to do is follow the strings. The strings lead you to every single dot. The guardians of old can not only follow the strings, they can not only excise the dots, they carry swords of truth forged by God fire. If Baal must command 6 legions, no less than 3 are needed to obliterate all 6 legions. When I say you have not been forsaken, and that there is something moving behind the scenes in order to facilitate a correction. There is something moving behind the scenes, okay? There is definitely something moving behind the scenes, working in our favor. We don't have to be afraid, although it is absolutely understandable if you are. These are times of uncertainty. But here's the thing. The only things you've truly been certain of the entirety of your existence in this life have led to more suffering and struggle. I would say this time of uncertainty is, I guess, a sign that we are now moving into a space, entering into a positioning that will allow for something that we've never experienced before. And what have we never experienced before as a collective whole? Every single being that's living right now in physical form. What have we not experienced before? The one thing, this is an absolute, this is the one thing, the only thing we as a collective whole who is in physical form right now have not experienced before. Global peace. An end to global suffering. And this is not something we are going to meditate away. The global pain, the global suffering, we will not meditate that away. We will not love and light that away. A lack of action is a response. It is a form of compliance and passive permission. If you know that someone is going to swing a bat at your head and you don't move, that is your way of giving some type of permission to be accessed in that way. If I know that a bat is going to be swung at my head, motherfucker, first and foremost, I'm be wearing a helmet. Secondly, you're not going to be accessing me. I'm not going to be in the same space as you. It is not enough for me to move at the last minute and barely avoid it. It is not enough for me to not be hit in the head, but instead in the shoulder, because that's not like, life ending. I'm not going to be in that space at all. Are you kidding me? I don't deserve to be hit, period. This is about getting to the point where you begin deciding to that degree what you will allow and what you will not allow. And if you are not going to allow something, your actions better match that decision. Because really, the truth of what you communicate is communicated through actions. What are actions? Energy and movement. Energy and movement. So self-sacrifice in reverse. None of us have to sacrifice ourselves or sacrifice anything. What we need to do is make conscious decisions of what we will allow and what we will not allow. And if something is being done that you don't allow, you better correct that shit. You better make sure that you're like, nah, motherfuckers, I don't think so. I don't think so. Alienness in reverse. It doesn't matter whether you identify as a starseed or something alien from your human existence. It does not matter. Your existence here right now has always been enough. You've just not been harnessing it to the degree of the capacity of it. Homesickness. It's time for you to come home to yourself. It's time for you to get to a point where you are centered within yourself, not relying on other people outside of you to establish a peace that lives inside of you. Force of attraction, but it's in reverse. You're being told to change the calibration of your field. You have to. Why? Because there are things that are calibrated to you right now. You change that calibration, they can't find you. Makes it a lot harder. It's like the equivalent of turning your router off and on. You do that, you get a new IP address. You restart your computer, you get a new IP address. You know why it's so hard to find yourself back at home within yourself? They changed your IP address with mRNA. Remember, I told you, this has all been previously planned on an etheric level. I'm speaking in spiritual terms because YouTube doesn't allow me to speak in literal terms when it comes to subject matters such as that. So, belief systems in reverse. The belief systems that are currently in place, most of those were never designed to allow you the true access to your power. It always requires some type of intercessor, intermediator. No, connect directly back to source. That's part of your birthright. You don't need to invoke anything. You guys notice outside of fire ceremonies where I kind of just, for extra layer of security, I don't invoke things when I work. When I use my cards, I'm not like angels and light and this and that. I ask you to please guide this and protect it. What do I need to do that for? I'm not getting information from anything outside of my own divinity. Are you kidding me? I don't even get the information from Michael. Michael is simply reiterating what I'm choosing to ignore from my higher self. I'm just like, but we're not friends right now. Stop talking to me. Okay, well, I'm going to tell Michael. Well, you go ahead and tell Michael. That ain't no threat. I don't listen to Michael either. I'm not saying interact with your higher self in that way. I'm just saying that's how I interact with my higher self. I got attitude problem most of the time. It's spice. It's spicy. It's just spicy. That's it. It's just spicy. Okay? Okay. Single-minded focus, but it's in reverse. They want us so like spread out. I'm worrying about this and this and this and that and strangers and strangers and strangers and strangers and strangers. And then you don't have the time, the energy, or the focus for home, for home, for home. Your family is also your home. At least they're supposed to be. And for some of us, our family is made up of our friends. Our family is made up of our friends because our biological family is not on the same page, is not on a level of resonance with us, and it doesn't make us better. It just makes us painfully aware of how different we are. And so you find a way to create your own family. That's what you guys are for me. right? You're my family. You're my online family. We have everything we need, right? It doesn't matter if you've never commented. If at some point while I was live, I became aware of your energy, you're numbered in my online family. Unless you're a demonic motherfucker that hurts people and intentionally tries to disrupt, you're not part of my family. Stay on the outskirts. Better yet, get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You're not welcome here. I don't give a shit if it hurts your feelings. You're not my problem. Now, if you're part of my family and I say something that unintentionally hurts you, I will absolutely apologize. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would never intentionally try and hurt your feelings, damage your perception of yourself. Because to hurt someone that I love is the equivalent of hurting me. And I'm done sacrificing myself. I'm done volunteering to be the whipping girl for people who can't take accountability for their actions. So, no, the standards that I have for myself are the very same standards of minimal levels of respect, consideration, and dignified existence that I have for my entire online family. That doesn't even matter how long you've been part of my journey. It doesn't matter if you just found me last night. Family is family is family. The guardians of old are severing the connections to the hive mind. In reverse, hive mind, in reverse, parallel, insectoid. Yep, the hive mind, right? These people who have been identifying as part of the Bay hive with, I don't know. It's for Beyonce. How'd that work out, huh? Turned her into a whole ass religion, right? There, I believe someone created a whole ass religion based on Beyonce. They've identified as the Bay Hive. A lot of information that has not yet been confirmed coming out about Miss Bay. A lot of information. You see how many of us have been identifying as something we don't quite understand. Same thing applies for spiritual communities. We need to begin really allowing ourselves to take stock of our lives right now. The guardians of old will do what they need to do, but you are now being tasked to do what you need to do. There is spiritual technology that's being utilized. Oh, fuck. CERN, HARP, Do, Amanda, all these other things. Those are all spiritual tech that were reverse engineered from recovered Atlantean technology. Spiritual tech. And it's in the present. Remember how there was a line in that one video that I showed you guys? There was a line, right? And it was pushing the storm. Remember I was talking about how it's guiding the storm, it's pushing it. It was an anomaly, a radar anomaly. You see that line? Looks like it's pushing the storm. Looks like a radar imagery. Spiritual technology. And it will be coming out into the open. There will be information that will be released because guess what? There are those who are on a level of quantum divergency, and their flavor of autism is conspiracy. Oh, they're going to find the information. They done pissed off some of the wrong ones. It ain't going to be me. I'm not tech savvy. It's not going to be me. There are people who exist who can enter into secured online spaces. I don't know any of them. I don't care to know any of them. That's not my flavor of autism. My flavor of autism are Jesus songs. Serious. It's already documented. But these people with that specific flavor of autism, I'm assuming a couple of them will be inconvenienced to a degree that they involve their friends. They have these little cliques that they have, and all of them are super skilled. I would not be surprised if they then start talking about entering into secured systems that will give them the proof of what was being done and has been being done, and we will have the motherfucking evidence. And they will rue the day that they fucked with the wrong ones. So, balance, Arcturus. There will be those who are allowed to hold space to reestablish the balance. Arcturians are capable of very, very extreme, profound degrees of healing, etheric healing, physiological healing, emotional healing, luminous bodies healing, societal healing. They're just so good at healing across the board, right? I know what you're doing. Michael was telling me to kind of think about how several months ago, I was just like remembering how years ago, some of my conspiracy friends, they told, oh, have you come across signs? They're letting you know. I just got a notification. Have you come across signs? They're letting you know. So I basically several months ago was just sharing a remembrance of how some of my friends from before, I met them through my curiosity with conspiracy topics. They were teasing me. They were teasing me because they said I looked like this blue alien. So rude. If you guys remember that, Michael was saying to just remind you of that. And you do with that information whatever it is you feel you should do. You go ahead and do with that whatever it is. Okay? So these things do not want you to enter into a space of judgment. They've already pre-programmed this, that don't be judgmental. A lot of the things that we have normalized as some type of elevated spiritual existence, the don't be judgmental. Those are all designed to get you to be so comfortable and to normalize your refusal to have some degree of etheric intelligence. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm talking about etheric intelligence. This entire time, You are supposed to have been developing, cultivating that etheric intelligence by way of balanced judgment. Judgment is a very key component of discernment. This is why most people cannot figure out if they're actually facing a dangerous something or not. We're told all of these nonsensical things. Oh, you can tell everything about a person by their eyes. Only thing you can tell about a person by their eyes is if they have disease. That's the reality of it. If you find someone who is very skilled at reading people's energy, they're not going by the eyes, they're reading the auric field. You know, serial killers? They all share one characteristic. They can mask their eyes. You know that, right? They're truly wicked ones. They can mask their eyes. But one thing they can't mask is their aura. Oh, Emmy's so dark. Okay. What the fuck's that mean? Because for me, when someone says that, all that actually tells me is that, oh, you're a follower. You're someone who follows what other people say. People who actually preach fear and present it as empowerment. I got a response for that. Hold on. I just didn't post this yesterday, but I was playing with Soul yesterday, and where is it? I saw this and I was just like, oh, this is hilarious. It'll piss some people off. I don't care. I'll play it for you guys. Because, yeah, I can't be bothered to save the feelings of people who are intentionally hurtful themselves. Here. All right.
You keep talking like it's something that I may be interested in, but I'm not. I'm not interested.
I'm not fucking interested. I'm not interested in any way, shape, or form with that stupidity. I'm just not. So the way you can tell someone is actually on another degree of fucking wickedness, pure evil, their aura is yellow. It's usually very bright too. Yeah. Its aura is yellow, very bright. The brighter it is, the more they're willing to dive deep into some fucking wickedness. How can you tell if someone's wicked just because their aura's yellow? It's spiky and jagged. They have an imbalance with their solar plexus. All demonics do. Love and light, right? What color do we usually see light as? Yellow. That whole teaching of love and light is actually a demonic teaching. They changed the words. They changed it. For demonic things, usually their view of light is yellow, right? And to them, light signifies power because it's associated with the solar plexus. So instead of light, it would be power. What would love be? Allegiance. I pledge my allegiance to the side that will win, not to the side that I love, to the side that will win. The love and light, allegiance and power. They made it all romantic. You see, people have asked me this question for many years and I've refused to answer it straight out. That's what the love and light is. Allegiance and power. Because those who are allegiant to the ones in power, they will let you do whatever the fuck you do. They will back that up. They will never correct you. They will never, ever, ever go against what you say. Why? Well, because if they deem you as someone who can win at any cost. As long as you let me benefit, okay, I'm part of your crew. I'm part of your crew, right? You need to be careful of what you're attracted to. For many people, they're attracted to the very thing that will burn them in the end. Like moths to a flame. Demonic things shine very bright in the darkness to draw the ones who know no better. You can always tell when a person is sitting in that function. Why? Because everything they do is about gaining a following, including degrading other people, bashing them, trying to strip them of a dignified existence. For me, all of this is common sense. I see someone who does this type of thing, this type of behavior, tearing someone else down in order to promote themselves. That's some demonic ass shit, yo. That's a fucking surefire way for me to be like, I'm good off you for fucking ever. No, thank you. No, thank you. Most people don't want to observe. You need to be willing to. I'm going to ask you guys a question and please be completely honest. Have you ever, in the history of me being publicly visible, because there are some of you who have been present since I first was publicly visible, and the entire history of me being publicly visible, do you have evidence or even a mere experience of me first tearing someone down as a precursor to me promoting myself or a service? Do I have a history of starting shit with people? I will say, I do absolutely have a publicly documented history of fucking shit up when I'm sick and tired of people fucking with me. Absolutely. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not embarrassed. I will not hide that. That is a very clear part of my documented history. When I get sick and tired, I will fuck shit up. Absolutely. I will speak a type of truth that will tear someone down, but is it shit talking or is it me speaking truthful about shitty people with shitty behavior? So, if anybody that you follow has a history of that, especially if they repeatedly do that, know that you're following something demonic. Someone being used by demonic things. It is time for you to clean house. Hey, I don't know who you follow. I don't want to know who you're now like, oh, holy shit. Save that for yourself and your personal journey. I do not want to know because I'm super protective of my family, even online family, and I will fuck shit up and I don't need to be doing that. That would be a gross violation of my capabilities. Okay? You guys are being tasked to be aware of what you are allowing and what type of access. If you're thinking, I mean, like, tell us who to stay away from. No, that would be the same thing. Listen, sometimes you give access to people who are actually housing demonic things. because that is your soul's way of beginning to teach you about your power. I will never rob you of your opportunity to learn about yourself and your capacity. I just won't. I mean, you're going to let me fall? Well, boo, if you fall, you more quickly learn how to balance. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to let you crash out. But wobbling isn't exactly falling. Stop being afraid of the very process that teaches you about your strength and your capability. Yeah, it's fucking inconvenient. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Sometimes it causes you to enter into a dark night of the soul. But it's only when you allow yourself to momentarily be immersed in complete darkness that you regain a proper understanding of the gravity of light. Right? Rejuvenation sigil, but it's in reverse. They don't want you to be rejuvenated. They want you to be so afraid. Listen, you don't need someone else to rejuvenate you. When you reconnect, a connection between the self and the soul will automatically keep you rejuvenated. Have you guys ever wondered how I can do live streams for hours on end? No potty break, no break at all, no nothing. Just keep right on, person after person after person. Hours on end. Have you ever wondered? Yes, there will be times in my life where there becomes a misalignment between the self and the soul, and I don't want to listen, and soul is asking me to do something that makes me uncomfortable or makes me upset, and so there's times where there's misalignments. But every time, if I'm going to do expedites, I ensure there is always full connection and alignment between the self and the soul. It will continue to rejuvenate me. The only time that I get exhausted if I fuck around too much. My ADHD, just I be laughing and all kind of shit. Or I'll go ahead and I'll have a very heavy workout before I actually do the live stream. And yeah, that's going to make me physically exhausted. Energetically, no depletion whatsoever. Whatsoever. That's because of the alignment between the self and the soul. You allow yourself to align with your higher. You'll be all good through all of it. You'll be fine. There are things that don't want change, that don't matter. Change is one of the only givens in life, in existence. I've wondered how you hold your pee for so long. Oh, I got a camel's bladder. I just always have, even as a child. Yeah, I could hold like close to a 2 liter worth of fluid. I'm not even joking. How do I know this? Because one time I was hospitalized. And I don't like using public restrooms, so I hold it for a prolonged period. And they put an entire saline bag into me. Do you know how big those saline bags are? And I held it because I didn't want to pee. And then finally, I went ahead and I allowed myself to go tinkle. First, I called housekeeping to go ahead and resanitize the bathroom in front of me. And they were worried about my kidney function. And then so they kept one of those toilet catches. It looks like a hat. It hangs in the toilet and it catches whatever you release from your body in there. And I filled that catch like 2.5 times. And I was just like, oh, that's a lot. Yeah. All right. So last set of cards, Star Seer. Ooh. God dang. You guys. Be careful of those who identify as seers. Either as part of their online personality or as a being that presents itself to you privately. This is not a good feeling. Card number 46, Starseer, but it's in reverse. This is something that's trying to view you without your consent, without your permission. I don't. Mm. So this bottom detail looks like an angry ocean in the middle of a storm, right? Starseer. Oh no, it's not a good feeling. I don't want to read too deep into it because I can feel like the potentiality of me distorting the message because it's riling me up. You know what I mean? Evie says, girl, I used to do that and had kidney problems. And the urologist was like, geez, you held a lot. That don't work now after children. And you've had more than me. Impressive. That's not to say that if I deadlift or squat extremely heavy, like more than double my body weight, that I won't like have a little tinkle. I won't do it without some appropriate protection gear. Yeah. Mm-mm. Because there's a certain degree of strain where it's just like, girl, you're not holding nothing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, vulnerability. Vulnerability is actually a position of power. If you are afraid of vulnerability, you're afraid of your power. When you enter into a space of vulnerability and you allow other people to witness it, typically, those are people who, to some degree of awareness, know how powerful they are. And just because they're experiencing a moment of vulnerability doesn't mean they're susceptible to attack or destruction from others. Right? When you guys see me experience moments of vulnerability online while I'm live, does it feel like weakness? And it's a genuine question. Does it feel like weakness, or does it seem more like, wow, this is so fucking powerful to witness? Like, how do you guys receive that? Sorry, I'm far too hot at this point, and I only have my workout tank top on. So it is really hot. Oh, it's a lot of energy surging. It doesn't help that I have 2 sets of workout outfits on. Let me take off my second pair of pants. Oh my gosh. All right. All right. I used to believe that if people saw me in some type of emotional state, going through something really intense, something painful, a type of struggle, or whatever it is, that they would think that I was weak, and then they would then be more encouraged to attack me and try things. And I realize it's in those spaces where I'm the most vulnerable that I'm actually the most powerful. Because guess what? If I'm in a space of vulnerability and you're going to try something at that point, I'm at a point where I really don't give a fuck and I will fuck shit up. And I will not even be apologetic about it. So then it began to really shift my perception of myself. What's really happening? Is this a moment of weakness, or is it me finally stepping into my power? And that moment of vulnerability is evidence of my lack of fear of what someone will do just because they see an area that they think is vulnerable. Right? Now, if you're going to force yourself to experience vulnerability in front of people, that's a different thing than having an organically developed moment, authentically experienced vulnerability. I never come on a live stream with a predetermined intention to cry or to even talk about specific subject matter. I'm only ever always given a title, which I think it's one thing most times, but it becomes something else as the reading continues. There's no script to follow. None. When someone is following a script, that's questionable to me. You notice I never do pre-recorded content. I just don't. I don't. Why? Oftentimes it feels like it's contrived. I'm not talking about anyone else. I'm talking about myself. It makes me feel like, ooh, if I have the opportunity to edit things, cut things out, and add something in at the end, is that still authentic? And I don't quite know. And I can only talk about myself. I don't quite know. So I only ever do live streams, and then my social media gal cuts up my live streams, because that's when you know all of that shit that came out, that's fucking authentic. That's real. I don't remember my live streams. When you guys comment on my live streams after the fact and you're bringing something up, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I don't. And if I'm really curious, I have to rewatch what you're talking about. For those of you who put the timestamp of what you're responding to, thank you. Thank you. And for those who just comment, I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Did I say that? What what happened? And there's times where I've had private conversations with friends, and they'll be like, oh my God, what you said in the live stream today just really, oh. And I'm like, what did I say? I don't know what I said. In one ear, out the other. I'm serious. In one ear, out the other. Trust your innocence. What your soul is telling you is that if you think you need to have this like facade of innocence, right? Where you need to feel as though you are innocent, because to not be innocent is to be tainted. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Your soul is inviting you to exist in a space of childlike wonder, and children are innocent, meaning they're usually unwilling to experience or promote wickedness. You need to return back to that childlike wonder. Forget about the retaliation. Forget about the revenge. Correct things that need to be corrected. Yes, of course. But retaliation and revenge, no, don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Okay? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Beyond the mind in reverse. They want you to be stuck simply in the density of what is happening. Because if you're stuck in the density of what is happening, you are less likely to allow yourself to rise up and reach the levels of awareness that are necessary to implement all of the different things that your soul is asking you to implement. Home. I love this. Home is inside yourself. Home is the space within the most sacred parts of creation. And you are one of the most sacred parts of creation. You are one of the ones that oftentimes serves as a home for other people. And that is okay. You need to allow yourself to get to a point where a lot of what's happening, you're allowing yourself to process, to quantify, process, and then implement. Card number 2, root chakra in reverse. They want you ungrounded. They want you living in extremes, meaning completely floating in the sky and separate from the human experience, or plunged down deep, feeling like you're being buried alive. Like, no, You need to be centered. You need to exist within a centered space. You know, the solar plexus is considered like the central chakra, right? It's a center point for the 7 primary chakras. What does the sacral chakra, no, the solar plexus chakra govern? Your personal power, your home within yourself is actually the space where you consciously wield your personal power over yourself, right? High heart chakra, card number 6. Oh, fucking shit. Have you guys been feeling weird, especially in the higher heart region as of late? As of the last maybe 24 hours, have you been feeling it right in here? Like a weird sensation. Maybe it's almost like the feel of anxiety starting to develop, the feel of maybe like low grade fear, the feel of maybe like pressure, a little bit of nausea, a little bit of an ache, almost like either you're getting over heartbreak, or you're starting to become aware of the details that you know is leading towards a heartbreak, and it's slowly intensifying. I was just told right now that there is, hold on, this is in reference to this. Oh, there is a spiritual technology that's being used to try and access the high heart chakra. The high heart chakra is the center point. Most people don't know this. This is part of the things that I teach in my academy. The high heart chakra is a center point that gives access. It's like the fork in the road. It'll either give you access to the higher selves, or it'll give you access to the human self. They're trying to access your high heart chakra. That's the 8th chakra. People don't know that there's an 8th chakra. People don't know that there's 15 chakras. Well, now there's 18. Now there's 18 chakras. There was 15 until very recently. Yeah. That's where they enter to access your Christic portion of your consciousness. Christic consciousness is anchored in the 8th dimension, 8th chakra. You see, they stop the teaching at the 12 because you go beyond, or the 7th chakra. You go beyond the 7th chakra, you begin talking about the 8th and the 9th. This is the Christic consciousness. This is a connection to your highest self. So they're trying to use whatever technology so that they can begin really entering into auric fields that have the capacity to house some of the higher demonics, right? Their intention is to step through. Stepping through, card number 47. 4 is the number of self, 7 is the number of completion. They're trying to reach complete integration with you and your template. They're trying to use this circumstance to do that. You need to be very aware. Radical expansion in reverse. It's in reverse. It's card number 40. All the rays of creation converging into your existence. 4 is the number of self. 0 is the point of origination. You, for those of you who are willing to take accountability, who are willing to step into your proper place, who are willing to return back home to self, you're being tasked with something. To take all your parts and converge with them and allow that convergence to bring you back home to yourself. Something very magical is about to happen. It's a pushback. It's a pushback. I got to get going, guys. I haven't eaten yet, and I came straight from the gym. And I need to set up quite a few different things for my congregation folks. For those who are in the Soul Sanctuary or part of the Soulwork Synergistic Congregation, I'm going to be recording the videos that we have every month for portal dates. This is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be adding quite a few different layers and levels of protection. It doesn't matter what degree of recurring contribution you have. If you can access those areas, all levels will have that. And then this weekend, when we go to talk in private on Saturday, I'm going to do yet another layer and level of protection for the congregation members. If you'd like to partake, let me get you guys the QR code for that here. This is where you can join the sanctuary. It is a fully recognized faith-based organization, aka a church. And because of that status, it is a nonprofit and a legal nonprofit, not just like people pretending. I've heard of some people pretending on social media. And because of that legally recognized status, when you trigger a recurring contribution for the sanctuary, what ends up happening is it's processed by the church payment processors. I don't get that. The church does. And that then becomes your receipt, then becomes an actual tax deduction because it's a donation. This is not you signing up for a membership. It's not a membership. Our congregation is not a membership at all. This is a recurring contribution, an ongoing monthly donation to our church. And if you guys were not present yesterday or you had to go before, the global agenda to disrupt and destroy humanity. Anyways, if you guys were not able to completely finish the video from last night, I shared the most amazing news. I'm so happy. We got the official notification yesterday. The 35 acres of land that my husband and I personally and privately purchased, initiated that in 2015. It is fully paid off. 35 acres of land, fully paid off. And so now our church needs to begin raising the funds so we can break ground and begin building on the sanctuary. The land is going to be allowed to be used by the church. And there is a need to start building ASAP. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. So although I just said ASAP, first take care of what you need to take care of. Okay? But we're going to be moving forward with those who applied to be long-term residents of the sanctuary. We're going to start going over those in the next several weeks, maybe month or so. And we're going to start reaching out because quite a few of you have already volunteered to be considered. And we're looking for those who are experts in specific fields so that they can serve as teachers at the sanctuary. It's so exciting. You know, we can't just continue to focus all of our attention on all of the negativity that's happening in the world. We need to acknowledge it. Yes, of course, absolutely. But we also have to end this conversation with a recognition that there are also good things that are happening in conjunction with the bad. There are also good things. With everything being destroyed, there are things that are ready to be built. Life always happens in balance. Today, I'm going to be going live on social media for the 1010 portal. It is the 1010 portal. I have those 6 new activations that I'm newly offering. I've never offered them before. If you'd like to join me for tonight's live fire ceremony, that's going to begin around 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm hoping, or maybe 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Depends what my body's saying to me at that point. So with that, I'll see you guys. You can access the information through this QR code or the link in the comment. I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay safe. And enter into a space of fearlessness. Do you know what fearless means to me? It doesn't mean that you're devoid of fear. It means that you have less fear than you do courage. Be courageous. Find those pockets of courage that already exist within you. Not only will we get through this period, we are going to transcend it. We'll make it happen. So I'll see you guys again later tonight.